Hey, this is Dean with Gain. So there's two reasons why you do or don't do something, and that's the perception of pain and pleasure. So if you feel there's more pain than pleasure, you won't do it. If you feel there's more pleasure than pain, you will do it. And unfortunately, if they're close to equal, we'll do more things to avoid pain. So, how do you avoid that? How do you break out of that? How do you get the perception of pain over pleasure to actually follow through and do those action items that you want to perform? Well, I've got 3 tips for you to do that. The first is to work on your prefrontal cortex. That's a part of your brain that is more of a fight or flight response. You don't really think, you just take action. And Mel Robbins has a great book on this called the 5-second rule. And the whole idea is it takes about 5 seconds before you leave that prefrontal cortex and start having cognitive thought and start telling yourself stories, really, because the brain is designed to protect you. And that's where you tell yourself stories and make up excuses of why you shouldn't do what you should do. And so she talks a lot about counting that down without thinking, just saying 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go, and doing it and just taking action and making it happen. And you can shorten that. I like to use 3, 2, 1, but the whole point is you want to have a countdown, because as you know, numbers go up to an infinite amount. So you need to count it down, so you have to actually take action and get to the end of it. So that's really working your prefrontal cortex. When you do that, you don't have time to think about whether it's there's some pain or not. You're just going to act. What you're going to find is maybe the perception of pain before just wasn't really real. So that's the first thing. The second thing kind of boils down when you use the prefrontal cortex, and that's you need to condition yourself that not taking action is the ultimate pain. And when you do practice that 3, 2, 1 or 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, you're going to get in that habit. You're going to build a lot of momentum, and it's going to really, really bother you not to take action. And so you really want to condition yourself that the ultimate pain is not to take action. The third step is to make those actions very, very pleasurable. So just to give you an example, people that want to exercise, maybe people know they need cardiovascular exercise, but they hate to run. Well, they're not going to follow through because it's not enjoyable. There's a lot of pain in that to them. There's no pleasure in it. So the good news is they don't have to run. They could bike, they could swim, they could participate in games where the duration is 2 hours, an hour, and get cardio that way. Or maybe they just don't like being on a treadmill and they can easily run outside where there's some scenery. They could add music to it. They can get an accountability or a workout buddy. They could go to the beach for a family day and exercise there. There's a lot of different solutions. You just got to use your head and say, how can I make this fun? What do I like to do? And combine them together. When you think of things like phone calls you didn't make, or maybe computer work, try doing them in a jacuzzi. Makes it more pleasurable. Now it's not such a painful experience. It's actually a fun experience you look forward to doing. You knock out 2 birds with 1 stone. There's the mundane task of maybe cleaning the house or cleaning the gutters or cleaning the car, those type of things. You might want to set up a little bit of a reward system so you condition yourself that way, that every time we clean the gutters, it's a date night and we go to the movies. And so now you're conditioning yourself to the fun time of movies with cleaning the gutters, and it becomes a pleasurable experience. So if you do those 3 things, if you really work on your prefrontal cortex by doing 3, 2, 1 or 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 and just act without thinking, you'll start to condition that not taking action is the ultimate pain, and you start thinking about the things, making them more pleasurable by adding music, adding things to make it pleasurable for you. Little reward systems. What's going to happen is you're going to build a lot of momentum. And when you build momentum, it's just a snowball effect. Your perceptions will change. Things that you perceive to be painful aren't painful anymore, and then the pleasure goes up tenfold. So I challenge you to use those 3 things and see the momentum you build and see how much action you can take. If you need some more advice on it, more performance tips, obviously message me back. I'd love to share some more performance tips with you. But I wish you luck in taking some more action.